All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski. We continue our season preview series with girls basketball, and we are here now with Columbus Catholic Don girls head basketball coach Ron Wilczek. Coach, thanks for having us here today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to be here. Looking forward to this conversation again.
Yeah, well, it's exciting times. Basketball season is here. You just finished, as it turns out, your third day of practice. We'll get into this year's team during the course of the talk that we're going to have here. We'll get into a whole bunch of stuff. But first, let's just remind our audience of a little bit about you. How many years have you been coaching, and then what keeps you coming back? What interests you in coaching girls basketball?
Yeah, so this is my second year as head coach at Columbus Catholic. Prior to that, I spent like 5 years coaching youth basketball, son and daughters. Prior to that, I spent 6 years coaching at the junior college level at UW-Marshall, Wood County. Mm-hmm. And then I spent 5 years coaching Columbus Catholic boys, JV and varsity. And then many years ago, I was helping Greenwood coach when I think we talked about this last year when Wayne Wagner was there as head coach. So, a lot of experience at different levels. Why do I keep doing it? I think it's about like the players and the relationships. I mean, that's kind of why you do it, and that's what keeps me coming back. Yeah,
good. Well, we're glad to have you. You're certainly an integral part, obviously, as the head coach, but also a valued member of the community. So we like having you around. Just as a reminder to folks watching now, Zaleski Sports is the exclusive broadcast partner for Columbus Catholic Schools. Every home event, coach, JV, and varsity is broadcast on the network. That people can find the broadcast at zaleskisports.com, and we're going to do our best to find a few middle school games to put up there as well, so folks can keep in touch with those kids. We'll talk a little bit about last year first, as we kind of put a bow on your first season, and at the end of it, you finished 14-10 last year, overall record 7-8 in conference. How do you grade that kind of season as your first year as a girls coach at Columbus Catholic?
First I would say that I had a blast my first year. I'd never coached high school girls before, and I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. I had fun. The girls were fantastic. They listened. They were coachable. They got along. And most importantly, laughed at my jokes, which is always key.
Right.
In terms of wins and losses, it would have been nice to maybe win 1 or 2 more games. I think we lost like 3 games by a total of 7 points. So we were right there on a couple other games. But the thing that makes me proud of last season, not only like having fun and enjoying the experience, was we got better as the season progressed. I was really pleased with how we started playing late in the season, but it was new for a lot of the girls. It was a new system, new terminology, new concepts, and it takes a while to learn some stuff, and I was really pleased with how we finished the season.
No matter what people want to think, Coach, there is no recruiting in high school basketball. You take the players that come and sign up. So as that turns out, there's a constant rotation. A group of seniors leave every year. A new group comes in behind them. Take a look at last year's scoring leaders: Addison Byrell, Haley Rail, Marin Seafluth, all totaled up together about 20 points a game with those three, and those three have gone on to play basketball at other places or just do things beyond that with their college careers. So maybe just talk about those three and what they meant to your team last year.
Yeah, actually Addison's a junior coming back.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, but Katie Hall was the third senior.
I was thinking of Abby.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the 3 seniors are going to be dearly missed. And they'll kind of have a special place in my heart because they were the first seniors during my first year as head coach, and they were fantastic. I mean, they bought into things right away. They were great leaders. And I think they helped kind of establish the foundation of the program that we're going to build on and stand on for many years to come. We're going to miss Haley's scoring punch. Really a gifted offensive player. Marin was a phenomenal leader, the point guard, and then Katie did things on the stat sheet, that most fans didn't notice because she wasn't scoring the ball a lot, but just a valuable member of our team last year. So we've got big shoes to fill. All 3 of those were guards, so we're losing 3 experienced, talented guards. So that's a big challenge for us this year.
Cloverbelt East, one of the most talented girls basketball conferences in maybe the entire state, but certainly here in central Wisconsin. As we looked at last year, we had Colby go undefeated all the way to the state tournament at the Resch Center. We had Neilsville line up against Colby in a sectional semifinal. Loyal, you go up and down the list. So many talented teams. What's that like to compete in such a tough and rigorous conference like that?
Well, you're absolutely right. It is a tough league. Outstanding teams, outstanding coaches, outstanding players.
Yeah.
I love competing against good teams. So you've got to bring your A game every day. It's a great measuring stick to see where you're at. And the beauty of our program, it hurts us, I think, sometimes in like seeding meetings because we're kind of beating ourselves up in league play, and our record may not be as high as some other schools and other leagues, but it prepares us very well for our postseason opponents.
Again, you're watching Coach on the Couch as we do a season preview here with Columbus Catholic Don girls basketball head coach Ron Wilczek. Coach, now let's move into this season. I said at the onset we've completed 3 days of practice, so of course you know everything about the team this year. You got it all figured out. I did mention Addison Byroll's name, and of course she's back this year, and a bunch of others. Tell us about the lineup this year and what kind of team you expect.
Yeah. So Addison Byroll is our top returning scorer. I think she's been playing varsity. This will be her third year. Very good athlete, very good basketball player. Scored about 12 points a game, like you said, about 5 rebounds. We're going to hope she does a little more this year for us in terms of scoring and rebounding. She's been a very positive influence in practice, been a very positive leader. So she's kind of elevated that part of her game this year. Annika Brown is another returning starter, phenomenal athlete, our best defender. We'll oftentimes put her on the opponent's best perimeter player. She's incredibly tough and competitive. The old saying goes, if you're going to go to war or battle, who do you want in the foxhole with you? That's a girl you like to have with you. And then, so then we have one more senior on the team, Holly Dean. So she was kind of a JV varsity player last year. She's made some great strides this summer, so her role is going to expand significantly. Holly is a delightful young lady. When she enters the gym or enters like a room, it's a better place. She just has such a positive attitude and just positive energy about her. As far as other players, we have Emily Jasinski and Megan Kibble. Were probably our first 2 players off the bench last year. Emily's more of a post player, Megan's more of a perimeter player. Both very long, both very athletic. Contributed last year to our team's success and will have much bigger roles this year. And then we have 2 of the juniors that'll see varsity action, Kelsey Moore and Aaron Meese. JV players that got a taste of varsity at times last year, and they're going to see their role expand as well. Looking forward to their contributions.
A number of those girls you mentioned, Coach, played fall sports. What kind of importance or what kind of advice would you give to other student athletes, boys or girls, in keeping themselves involved in sporting events for their school all year long?
Yeah, we're a small school. We need multi-sport athletes. I love it. I love the fact that our soccer team in the fall and our cross-country team had tremendous success. Both were in the sectionals, and it's great for kids to experience that. It's great for the school to rally behind those teams. And I love the fact that I think when you start winning, you expect to win in other sports. So they're kind of bringing that winning mindset, that winning attitude that, hey, we're not just going to play basketball. We're here to win some basketball games in the process.
Yeah, and of course, Columbus Catholic, a rich history in athletics, a rich history in student and academic performances as well. Coach, we start out next week. You get 2 games next week. You're going to hit it with a bang right away. Rib Lake, and then Colby. We mentioned Colby earlier. What does the team have to do this year to compete with teams like Colby and Neilsville and some of those last year that were on the top end of the conference and maybe even challenge for a conference championship?
Yeah, our biggest challenge, I think, you kind of touched on it, losing a lot of scoring from last year. So scoring is definitely a concern of ours. That being said, I think we're going to be pretty good defensively. We're long, we're athletic. The girls kind of understand our concepts and principles, and we're going to have to be good defensively and limit opponent scoring. And then we're going to try to need to get some easy baskets. You mentioned the teams in our league, they're well coached. They play good defense too. So we're going to need to try to get some easy baskets here and there. So maybe get some easy ones in transition. maybe take and make more free throws. No one's guarding you, so those should be quote-unquote easy. And then try to get some more offensive rebounds and some easy putbacks. So that's a key for us to try to get more easy baskets this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, Coach, best of luck this year. We look forward to watching you, and thanks again for joining us here today.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll wrap up here. Again, Columbus Catholic Zaleski Sports is the exclusive broadcast partner for Columbus Catholic Athletics. All home events broadcast at ZaleskiSports.com, and over 100 other broadcasts, all winter sports long, all available at ZaleskiSports.com. More Coach on the Couch coming up. We'll see you next time.